Good morning to everyone. The last day session will be handled. The first session will be handled by Dr. P.M. Arun Kumar. I really very happy to introduce our resource speaker. Dr. P.M. Arun Kumar is currently working as an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Karpagam College of Engineering, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. He completed his PhD degree in 2016 with the specialization of Information and Communication Engineering at Anna University, Chennai. He is accomplished professional from the teaching fraternity with 15 years of experience. He obtained his master degree in Computer Science and Engineering in 2005 and received his BE in Electronics and Communication in 2003. He carried out his research in the area of wireless video QoE and has published more than 10 research articles in reputed international journals. His research interests include machine learning, wireless networks, medical informatics, algorithm design, and data analytics. He has received funds from various government agencies such as CSIR, DRDO, and ICMR to conduct a workshop and seminars. He has acted as a resource person, as also a reviewer for many international journals. Uh, Dr. Arun has passion towards a career counseling and neuropsychology. He has accomplished PG diploma in psychological counseling with special attention to behavior therapies. He has a green belt certification and awarded a global career counselor from University of California, Los Angeles and University. He has acted as a keynote speaker at various institutions and delivered a lecture in the broad area of engineering, cognitive psychology and management. He has more than 50 certifications from Coursera, Alizen, NPTEL, and Accenture. He is an articulate communicator with demonstrated ability to teach and motivate the student at the highest level. I welcome you, Arun sir. Hello.
ஏன்னா மாங்குன்னு படிச்சேன் ஒண்ணு கேட்கலையாட்டிருக்கேடா.
Hello.
Yeah, madam, is it audible?
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Yeah.
Arun sir, previously பேசுனது கேட்டுச்சா?
கேட்டுச்சுங்க மேடம், கேட்டுச்சு, கடைசியா சொன்னதும் கேட்டுது.
Okay, thank you so much sir.
Hello, Arun sir. Good morning. Kadirvel here.
Yeah, I hope it is audible and visible. Madam, can somebody respond? Can I start?
Arun sir, visible. Kadirvel here.
Very good morning, Kadir. How are you?
Fine sir. Going on.
Okay, Kadir. Thank you. Audible இருக்குல்ல?
Audible sir. Clear இருக்கு.
Okay, thank you. Right, thank you. So very good morning to one and all who have joined here for this AICTE sponsored event on deep learning and machine learning. At the outset, I would like to thank the management of Vellalar institutions for having given me this opportunity to interact with people through this forum. Definitely, I should thank the Department of IT, the HOD, and all those coordinators of this event for having arranged this event. And I hope this is the last day of this particular series. And I would like to go into the topic straight away. and thanks for being here, and I hope everyone are fine at your own end. We will start the topic straight away. So the topic for discussion today is research issues
Arun sir, Arun sir, can you hear me? சரி என் போன் எங்கன்னு பாருங்க. Arun sir, Participants, sorry for the technical inconvenience. Arun sir, can you hear me? Arun sir? Arun sir? Arun sir, your voice not audible.
Is it audible, ma'am? Is it audible, ma'am?
Audible, sir.
Yeah, is it audible, Kadir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Yes,
Fine,
sir.
sir. You can carry.
That's fine. Yes, if there is anything called a disturbance, please feel free to intimate me at the earliest. Thank you. Yeah. So, yes, perfectly fine, right. Here is research issues in machine learning, and possibly what we can the difference between the basic difference between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning is a very important point to be understood here. Everything is a subset. If you can see, deep learning is a subset of what we call a machine learning, and machine learning
Excuse me,
becomes
sir.
a subset of
Arun sir?
artificial intelligence. Uh,
Arun sir, there is network issues in your side. The voice not
so
clear,
which means
sir.
what we can see is that artificial intelligence is a broader. Ma'am, சொல்லுங்க.
Voice
Yes,
not
madam,
clear,
கேக்குதுங்களா?
sir. Now it's clear, very clear, sir.
Ma'am, கேக்குதா?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll
Sometimes
check
due to
it
some
down.
network
We'll check
issues.
it down now.
Okay, okay, sir.
Is it fine? Yeah, I suppose it is fine. Screen. Now it's fine, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But in middle of your screen, some text messages.
Is it fine, ma'am? Can I
Now it's.
continue?
Yes, sir. Yeah, now you can continue, sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Please. No, it has gone away, ma'am. There is a pop-up. Please move this window away from. Yes. Yeah. So artificial intelligence is a branch intelligent machines which behave like a human and it think like a human and able to make decisions, right? Uh, that's fine. So how far we are able to use machine learning in our scenarios? If you are a budding researcher who is about to do a research in machine learning, and what happens, or a very important point. Before that, can I ask the audience or the coordinator here? Is it visibility is fine there? The screen is without any disturbances. I'm having a small pop-up which is showing that window is you need to move the window away from the sharing. Is it fine, ma'am? Is the screen visibility and audibility is fine? Can I continue?
Everything is fine, sir. You can continue.
Yeah, but there is no disturbance in the visibility of the slide, I
Yes.
guess.
I think that is a small screen, sir. Please move this window away from the shared application. That message is showing in the middle of your screen, sir.
So it's disturbing. Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
No,
Yeah.
no problem, sir. You can continue.
All right. Right. So yeah. So what we can see is that, yes. So the applications of AI is manifold. As you can see, it is applied in astronomy, healthcare, transport, agriculture, education, e-commerce, social media, data security, gaming. So you have got almost every layers of applications, whichever possible. Everything has been there in the under the application of artificial intelligence, wherein we need to segregate where comes the machine learning concept, and where comes the so-called the deep learning concepts, which you might have had a go forum which they might have discussed the other speakers. So here the point here is how for an artificial intelligence, if you think about increasing the artificial intelligence and how the real intelligence really matches, or how the real intelligence really makes a certain impact, that's very, very important, because if everything becomes artificial, your so-called real intelligence will get a biting. In fact, you cannot do everything um, uh, as a so-called artificial thing, whereas your real intelligence need to be kept intact without without any of the human interference. If you can do everything, then there is no existence of human thing really. So it's basically how we are going to use the right. So here maybe for a lighter note, I can show you that the so-called the comparison between an artificial intelligent machine and a human intelligence. Say there is a small example which I can quote here: AlphaGo, which is an artificial intelligent machine. Basically, it is a machine that has been developed by using deep learning technique, something similar to a robot with a capability of deep learning processing. It was pitted up with Lee Sedol, a player who was a champion player in a game called Go, which I can show you right now. Yeah. The Korean Go master Lee Sedol, an 18-time world champion of the Chinese board game. It was a game. It is not like an easy one. You need much more number of human perception to take forward those game to win that particular game. And at a point of a time recently, what happened was that that so-called player was playing against a program, or rather a machine. It is called as AlphaGo from the company called DeepMind. And to everybody's surprise, what happened was at the end, the person or the so-called human player who was exceptionally talented, because as I can say that it is not a normal game. It is not a one or two moves. It was even much more calculative than a game like chess. So here, with respect to this particular game, what happened was that at the end, the machine actually, got the it actually overpowered the human. The so-called advancement that has been seen in the era of deep learning, where you can make yeah, can I be allowed to share the screen again? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hope it is audible again, I guess. Right.
It is audible,
That
sir.
is what happened really.
Arun sir.
And perhaps
Arun sir.
the thing is that yeah, we are into the machine learning right now. So how your machine learning goes in, as you know that it is a technique that
Arun sir.
okay.
Arun sir,
Okay, ma'am.
sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Yes, madam. Tell me.
Sir, it is breaking.
Ma'am, சொல்லுங்க கேக்குது.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir. Sometimes it is clear, sometimes it is not audible and it is breaking.
Yes, madam. கேக்குதுங்க.
Sir, now you can continue, sir. Continue.
Yeah, is it audible, please?
Now it's very clear, sir.
That's okay. Okay, madam. Okay, I have really switched my laptop really yesterday. So that is tell me if it is not connected properly. Is
Okay.
it fine? Is it fine right now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. When I change the
Sometimes
slide,
your
is it
voice is
syncing with
breaking, sir.
my audio?
Yes, sometimes it's breaking, sir.
Okay.
Now it's okay.
Okay. Okay. If it is really, if it is really, it is not understandable form. If it is really disturbing, please let me know. Please let me know.
So now everything is fine, sir. You can continue.
Thank you.
Arun's okay.
Thanks a lot. So when we speak about machine learning, uh, as you know that the idea is to involve a vast amount of data. We try to extract some intelligence through. Yes, ma'am. Yes, madam. Yeah, can I continue, please? Yeah. Yeah. One last time. Can we do it? The audio is fine, really. Sorry for the participants who have joined. Really, can I go ahead?
Yes, sir. You can go ahead.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Right. Thank you. So machine learning, it actually provides the system the ability to automatically learn. How it is going to do that is a very important point. And here, as you know that few people might be aware of that. Samuel Arthur, who worked at IBM in 1959, is the very first person to coin the term machine learning, a very important milestone in the history of the evolving of machine learning domain. Right. This one is a very basic again. The difference between a traditional programming and machine learning. Very basic, though I thought it is worth mentioning here. In traditional programming, what we normally do is you try to give an input and try to give a program or an execution steps, and we try to extract the so-called output. So whenever we have a data as an input and we do some calculations with the data and try to get an output, which is nothing but a traditional programming. You have calculation of two numbers or a square root of a number, whatever the case. You simply get the input and the logic and you apply it to the programming, you gather the output. Whereas in machine learning, it's a little bit of a different case here. You're actually giving, you know what you want really. You really know what you want, and you will be having some inputs really. So by giving the input as well as the output, you are trying to extract the logic really, how it behaves really. That so-called in between parameters have been checked up, and that logic has been extracted as an output. That's a very basic difference between traditional programming and a machine learning approach. Right. Working of ML is also should be very well known really, by now at least. People who are very much new to machine learning or people who are already working in ML, this is very, very basic. You have a data and that input data might be of any type. It might be a text, or it might be a video, or it might be an audio, or it might be of any form. Those data, by using it in a machine learning platform, what we can do is that you need to train the machine. By using that data, you try to have test data and a train data. In the training phase, normally what we will do is you take the data you have a class label. As you know, that class label is what the something like an output. If you have some parameters, say for example, if it is a disease prediction, what we have is that different people, and for each people there will be different features or parameters, and you have some values, and you have the class label, which is nothing but an output. Say a disease is yes or no as your output. So that class label along with the other features will be fed to a machine, which actually get trained because of having that data. It actually trains and delivers a model. Now the model is good enough to predict something as an unseen data. That a new patient comes in and he has some symptoms. Those symptoms are the input parameters which you have, and if you can really give that so-called input, because there is no output really. He was actually what he actually want to know whether he have the possibility of getting that disease. Now that new unseen data through this trained model will give an output exactly whether that patient will have the possibility of acquiring the disease, or he is free of such a disease. So that prediction is what happening in a machine learning. You can really equate to any of the examples, any of the applications, whichever can be used for that particular model. So through building a model by using training, relevant training, where we try to apply more number of algorithms. So your most of the machine learning algorithms will be used along with the data, and you train the model, and a new data comes in. It should predict with the considerable accuracy. How good, it depends on how well the so-called model has been trained till now. So it's a very, very basic thing as a working of your machine learning really, right? So here the very important point is that it is not about giving all the data, checking all the algorithms and trying to get an answer. It is a big no. If you are a researcher, it is not that easy to conclude that this algorithm is better than that. You need a precise way of doing the steps required in machine learning, because once you take up a data, how well you clean the data, how well you pre-process the data is one of the major point where people really ignore that point. Being a researcher, you tend to have a data set by downloading from a website, by getting it from an author. Everything is possible. There are a lot of data available, but for your problem, how much the data has been done as a pre-processing is a very, very important point. The pre-processing step and the feature selections are very important. It actually plays a prominent role in determining the efficiency of the system. It's very, very basic. So it is not like all fits to everything. You have to streamline the data, pre-process it, and you have to apply is needed. You need to understand, and you need to pick up the best possible algorithm for the problem which you have defined. So it is like a mix of both a machine and a human can give a better result when we speak about machine learning. There is a deep learning concept in certain applications. Actually, the features are automated, isn't it? That is a very basic difference between a machine learning and a deep learning, that you might have got the information while you studied, or during the course of this particular seminar or the so-called workshop. So the deep learning models really try to gather the feature automatically, whereas in machine learning, you will be feeding those inputs, proper features to the system to get trained. So that basic difference is very important. Also, another important minute difference between a machine learning and deep learning is that which you should be aware of, that like how much amount of data you're taking. If it is a very large amount of data, it's a very, very large amount of data, and projects involving that huge amount of data, I think your deep learning will be more applicable, and it will be more useful in gathering a result. When your data goes considerably high volume, I think the performance of deep learning comes into picture. And I think the other way is also possible. If you are using a deep learning sort of an algorithm for a very small amount of data, or a data set which with a normal or a minimum amount of data, I think your deep learning won't be that much successful. So it's a very broad way of understanding where to apply a deep learning and machine learning. And you think about how much amount of algorithms available under your machine learning and deep learning. There again, you need to classify and try to use it. Of course, for a particular application, you can try 2 or 3 deep learning algorithms, and possibly you can conclude that this one is better than that. That is a possibility, really. A comparative analysis can be done. But you cannot choose randomly 3 or 4 algorithms. That's not possible, because you need to check out what are all the data inputs you are provided, what problem you are taking, and accordingly you have to choose the algorithm whenever we speak about machine learning, right? Now we are into the applications of machine learning, really. This application is what we are speaking about as a research issue. The more the application, for each of the application, I think research will be going on, as you know. If there are any people here who have been if you are trying to use machine learning for your projects, these are all the broad areas. The areas such as language translation, medical diagnosis, stock marketing, fraud detection, email spam, self-driving cars, speech recognition or image recognition, whatever the case. I think if you want to explore something as a research and you want to get a result, you can actually have an idea of picking something as an application domain. You can think about something as an application. Yes, I'm very much new to machine learning and I want to do a research. If you want to check only medical field, that's a very much a good idea. You go into the medical domain, try to capture what are all the medical applications that has been resolved and obtained as a result, converged into some effective results in terms of research, and you can improvise on that. You can try to apply something new, or you can compare the older one with the newer one, or you can even go for a very new novel sort of result through your research. So same can be applied to any of the field, because whenever we speak about research, even to a point where if you want to do a PhD, the very important and the very critical hindrance that comes in is what topic to be taken. You cannot straight away say that, yes, I'm doing a PhD by using machine learning. Is not enough, really. You need to pick up a specific before specifying the so-called objective of your problem, what area it is, and how much amount of research has been done already, and what are all the things that needs much more exploration. If you can see, there might be few cases where these sort of the domains and the problems would have been taken much more in today's scenario, and there might be few problems which are not touched that frequently, that machine learning or deep learning algorithms are
Arun sir, your voice not audible. Participant, please wait for a minute. There is some technical inconvenience in the resource speaker. Arun sir, can you hear me?
Yes, madam. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
madam.
if possible, you
Fine.
send a
Are you
PPT
hearing me?
to our STTP mail, sir. I can share the PPT. Instead of you, I will share it, sir.
isn't it? That's perfectly fine. Can just a minute, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Link.
உங்களுக்கு சென்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன். Madam. Hello. Done, 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 done. Okay.
Arun sir, is it okay?
Yeah, fine. Is it audible there for you?
Yes, sir. Fine. Very fine.
Madam?
Sir, it's clear, sir. Your voice is very clear now.
That's okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right. I'm extremely sorry for the small disturbance that had happened. I would like to continue the same now. The what we are trying to discuss. So machine learning applications, if you can see, there are a lot of applications available. To a point, what happens is that very first and very foremost thing which I need to explore here is the recommender systems, which is one of the prominent research area. What we are trying to see as something like an Amazon or a Flipkart under e-commerce sites. And there are a lot of food ordering platforms like Zomato and Swiggy's. There are quite a lot of recommendations which you might get whenever you use those platforms. Say, for example, if I am ordering a food through say Zomato, what happens is that at a point of a time after that ordering, or after a particular point of a time, I may get recommendations from Zomato about a particular restaurant, about a particular food, and the possibility of buying all those informations will be given to you as a recommendations. Of course, you have the option of either using that recommendation or not using. It is really up to the user. But the very important point here is, yeah, how far that recommendation is closer to your intention, closer to your liking. That's very, very important. If somebody is recommending something which you don't even like, then that recommendation is an utter failure. But here, by using machine learning algorithms, what happens is that you will be recommended with something which you like the most. Say, for example, for a Zomato, at a point of a time, they would be giving some restaurant names for you as a recommendation, because of your previous usage history, previous purchase history. It will be taken up and analyzed, and accordingly, that recommendations will be given. Same applies to Amazon and Flipkart, which we are using time and again, but we might be unaware that machine learning algorithms are the one that really picks up here. So the recommendations are always based on the previous browsing history and the previous purchase history in terms of those platforms. The same applies for movie services and hospitality. Probably the next slide. Yeah. Yeah, I hope the visibility is there. There are a lot of instances like you will be seeing certain advertisements for you related to a product which you might have browsed the previous day, or there might be something like a shopping cartel where you buy something and those relevant things will be shown to you while you are going into a YouTube. You do something as a purchase in Amazon, and the next day in YouTube, while you are searching for something else, probably an ad popping up showing something as a product which you have purchased previously in Amazon will be shown in YouTube. These are all because of the work and the thing related to machine learning. Always at the back end, those machine learning algorithms are the one that really gives that particular possibility and make you to buy that. It is basically an e-commerce business prospect where you are trying to give those information, where you will be lured, you will be made to buy those products time and again, and it is a typical machine learning application, right? Yeah, when I go for the very second one, social media related, related application, where you have something like auto friend tagging suggestion is also a typical machine learning application. Lot of research has been happening related to this, and all those face detection and image recognition, as you know, it's all a deep learning scenarios, deep learning or more fit to those sort of applications. All image and image related recognition, I think deep learning is getting a very big plus here, or a very big boost here, because of its the way your so-called deep learning algorithms behaves. All your spatial and temporal relationship have been taken care of. Maybe for an example, I can tell you, while you're trying to use something like an algorithm where you are trying to search for something in a Google, there you will find out the ranking algorithms. Those ranking algorithms have been embedded with now with the machine learning algorithms. Say for example, initially some few years back, there is something called Panda as an algorithm that really take care of which to search something in a Google, which are all the so-called search results need to be in the first page, which in the second page. So that pages and the web searches and related things have gone a major dimensional change, where you use machine learning algorithms to detect and give you the most appropriate result for you. There are a lot of algorithms like Panda, as I told you, Penguin, PG, these are all previous algorithm. Hummingbird is one such algorithm that has been used extensively right now. Right now, your Google searches have something like a Hummingbird as its algorithmic structure to give a better results. Similarly, there are a lot of algorithms like Rank Brain is another algorithm. Rank Brain, which is a typical deep learning algorithm that has been used now by Google to get fetch better results. That's directly it uses something called a deep learning algorithm in it. So all those implications say that you have a lot of applications, and you can explore anything. As a researcher, if you want to go in, you can take something like that as well, that also utilizes those deep and machine learning things. Here your deep face is an algorithm or a program rather. It actually determines those auto friend tagging suggestions. When I go for the next one, yeah, This is, as you know, that people you may know. I think those tagging is basically the algorithm will try to fetch which are all the people who are really interested, who are all the friends you already have in the list, and who are all the people who are common in the list. You may people you may know, which has been highlighted here, will be determined by Facebook by analyzing all those data which you have as a Facebook user and your friends Facebook profile. All those will be analyzed, and the people you may suggestion is happening here. Right, to the next one. Yeah, when I go to the very next thing, it's a traffic prediction. As you can see, under your traffic prediction, as you know, you might be using Google Maps quite efficiently. Again, here the very important thing is, it is not like giving only the route. You pick something as a source and you pick something as a destination, and you try to see and utilize your Google Map. It actually gives an information of the past, which means the route distance between one point to another, and also the present and the current traffic situation is will also be taken care of. And also there is something called dynamic pricing, where Uber and Ola are using extensively those machine learning applications, where for the same distance, for the same place from source to destination, according to the constraints and according to the environmental factors and the traffic conditions, they may have a difference in pricing. So those has been implemented already in Uber and Ola. The next one, yeah, this is, yeah, the previous one. The previous slide, yeah. Despite the heavy traffic, you are on the fastest route. This particular message has been seen by many of us at many of the time. Here the thing is that this message has to be interpreted like, it is a route which you are going, and it says that despite the heavy traffic, you are on the fastest route. Meaning is that it is try to analyze the so-called distance of that particular place which you are about to travel, and also the present traffic condition is also taken, and it is trying to give the information that you are on the right path. So that is basically again a machine learning, and all those algorithms related to machine learning comes in. The very next one. Yeah, you can go to the next, very next, email spam detection. Yeah, this is again a very important, yeah, very important part of machine learning is spam detection. Everybody might have seen that whenever we are using a Gmail, we have a segregation of like the normal mail, spam, trash, it goes along. How we are not the people who are really picking those mails to your spam folder. If needed, we will be doing. Otherwise, your spam folder will be increasing, and it is done automatically. That automatic way of converting, or rather segregating the good mails with respect to your spam mails is done by machine learning algorithms, because again that automatic decision is taken in what way you really take up. There are past history where you might have checked and you might have sent a few mails as spam. When similar mails come in now as a new thing, the machine will automatically find that this is not a normal mail for this person particularly, so that it will send that to the spam. So the automatic filtering of your spam in a Gmail is itself a basic machine learning. Of course, there are a lot of research happening here, and if you are an ardent researcher and if you want to do some research in machine learning, there are a lot of algorithms that has been applied in this spam detection itself, and you can start with what you can try some normal algorithms. You can improvise on those algorithms, because similarity index, which are all the mails that are much more similar to a spam, probably it will lead to a spam, isn't it or not? Something like a KNN sort of an algorithm, instance based algorithm, can be utilized very effectively. So this is one such application which has a very good research potential. The next one. Yeah, when I speak about Google, there are a lot of Google applications closely related to machine learning, knowingly or unknowingly. Probably if you are not belonging to a computer science field, and if you are entirely not related to
an IT or a computer science domain, still you are an engineering a professional. Definitely machine learning, as you know, that it can be applied to any of the domain specific result, or rather a research which you are doing, because you can really relate it with any of the field, whether it is an automotive field, whether it is a electrical, pure electrical field, whether it is a pure electronic field, still machine learning has its part. Probably here a small few examples to noted here is, when I speak about Gmail, there are something called a social mail, promotional and primary mail, which was not there previously. A few years back, we have got this sort of a template in Gmail, isn't it or not? You have a normal mail and a promotional mail and a primary mail. That promotional mail and primary mail has been differentiated only by us. Which means there is an algorithm that is running and trying to put certain mails as primary mail and certain mails as promotional mail, based on what they are, what the so-called source, and what is your previous history, and basically using those historical data as well as the current information, the machine itself automate, and it will try to segregate and put it in their own folders. And again, a very important point is, my primary mail and promotional mail might not be the same for another person, because according to my priority, the machine will do this differentiation, or rather the segregation of a primary mail and a promotional mail. If you like more of a promotional mails and you use that quite often, that mail might be coming as a primary mail to you because of your own past history, which might not happen for the other person. That is the so-called beauty of machine learning. Similarly, all your Google search, automatic anticipation, what you do, you type something, it will give some other words. Again, basically those are all belonging to this artificial intelligence concept, really. Google Assistant, Google Translate, photos, AdSense, AdWords is a very important thing. Whenever we speak about AdSense, whenever we visit a website, you might be seeing certain ads, advertisements coming at the rightmost, topmost, or at the bottom. That advertisement is nothing but an advertisement which is specifically for you. It is specifically for you with respect to your own priorities. Say, for example, if I am searching for something quite often, and if I'm going for a website, that website will give that advertisement to me, not for everyone else. That other person will have his own priority, and the advertisement will be based on that. So Google AdSense is in fact a business prospect where it's a win-win situation. If you know something like a product, and if you want to use a particular product, or you are having a blog and you are having a YouTube channel, they're all monetary benefits will be coming in by simply clicking on those ads. By somebody is clicking that ad, you as a person who is owning that YouTube channel, you will be getting some money. It's all because of the machine learning algorithms and advertisement and the business behind that. Everything is covered by machine learning. Next one. Yeah, next. Yeah, the very last one is healthcare as well. This healthcare, you can have a lot of points. One is disease prediction, drug discovery, medical imaging, smart health record, personalized medicine. All I will be covering it at the end, really. You have a separate explanation there. When you see machine learning in healthcare, it's a very broad, and it is one of the very, very important thing where people can really go in and dig deeper in terms of research. If you want to predict whether I will be getting a disease, yes or no, can be done. Drug discovery, you take COVID, for all those COVID and COVID related research, the drug and the drug discovery, all deep learning and machine learning algorithms have been deployed, and it is in the process. Medical imaging is a very, very separate area, because all those images and the information from the images need to be extracted, and the machine learning algorithm will help the so-called doctors to come to a conclusion. Maybe, for example, even for now, in COVID related diseases, if I take a CT scan of my lungs or a chest, what happens is that you need to differentiate between a pneumonia and a COVID. So when you have some lakhs and lakhs of images of that nature, the machine will give you a result exactly. These are all the patients who might not be in a place to be called as a COVID patient, and these are all the patients with a simple or rather a non-COVID or with pneumonia sort of conditions. These can be done. These so-called predictions can be done easily by using advanced features of machine learning. Really, next. Yes, these are all other applications like fraud detection, self-driving cars. Tesla, Tesla, a very famous company. They are working on those self-driving cars by using all deep learning concepts. You can automatically, it will try to drive according to the so-called traffic, according to the person coming before them, according to the so-called environment of the current condition. All have been taken care of. That stock market is another area where all those time series prediction will be done. There is a separate area called time series where you can concentrate like stock market. Every day the data changes and you can predict the so-called the stock and its implication in the coming days by using those algorithm. Weather forecasting is a very basic example for machine learning. Banking, finance, agriculture. If you want a crop, you have a data about the crop, you can easily identify whether this crop will be suitable for your land or not, or for the coming season, for the next 6 months, which crop may be the best one for your land. That's a very important point. For your place, which is best can be identified by using machine learning. Really, right? Next one. Yes. Right. As you know that there are three basic classification in machine learning: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. You might have heard it already. Maybe in the so-called in the seminar starting, you might have done what is supervised algorithms, what are all the differences, how much it impacts on the machine learning results. Everything is known. Probably I will give an overview only so that I can concentrate only on the research issues. So supervised learning, as you know, you have a set of data and you have a class label. You have the input as well as the output, and you try to give it, train the system using that. And if a new data comes in, according to the trained facility, it will try to predict something. So that is what a supervised learning is all about. You need a class label. The final result is needed. Really, maybe for example, you can apply to anything. Maybe for this session, if you take this is a video session that has been taken up for this forum. It has some data like what is the so-called person, what are all the parameters, whether the so-called speaker started the correct time, whether the audio is fine, whether the video is fine, whether you have some other parameters related to that, you call it as a features, and using that features you can really conclude that whether that so-called session is effective or not. Can be done. Really, you can apply it in medical field, you can apply it in educational field, you can try to use it in anywhere where you want to predict something by using the previous data, and the machine will try to give a prediction where you can be using that prediction to good effect to get some better results. Unsupervised learning, as you know, it is equivalent to clustering. The clustering is nothing but identifying the patterns. Instead of having data with class label, here there is no class label. Unsupervised learning is nothing but you have a bunch of data and try to get some insights from that. Clustering, all those similar data or the similar information are grouped together, you call it as unsupervised. The third one is reinforcement learning. We speak about machine learning, we leave that reinforcement learning as such. But research, in terms of research, if you are new and you want to take a very new, brand new idea which is not explored that consistently as like supervised and unsupervised, is your reinforcement learning. You have a lot of research prospect there. Reinforcement learning is nothing but like understanding the environment. According to the environment you change, the agent will work according to the environment. Something similar to a robot. Or game இருக்கு, or chess game இருக்கு, or any software game இருக்கு, you are making a gaming software, and your so-called that particular device need to work on that gaming and the properties and the rules of the game. You may go for a reinforcement learning, where a positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. If it is a good and a good move, you give a positive thing. If it is a bad move, you give a result accordingly, so that it learns from that positive and negative reinforcement, and it works as like a robot. Really, so all those gaming applications, your reinforcement learning is done. Why I'm saying is that if it is a very new, and there are a lot of research topics that are yet to be explored in reinforcement learning compared to the competitors of supervised and unsupervised. Next one. Yeah, these are all those algorithms which you speak really. Lot of algorithms applicable. Either நீங்க already பார்த்திருப்பீங்க. Neural network is one area. You call decision tree is one area. Bayesian is another area. Deep learning you have another area. So clustering, k-means and k-medians, all those things. So machine learning algorithms are plenty. It doesn't mean that you need to have all those algorithms for a problem. Not needed. You have to choose proper data set. You have to pre-process it correctly, and you have to extract the features accordingly, and then only you can apply the proper machine learning algorithm, right? I will go to the next slide really. Yes, simply to say that இப்போ machine learning குள்ள max இருக்கானா? Yes, it is. Machine learning குள்ள statistics இருக்கானா? Yes. Machine learning குள்ள probabilistic relations இருக்கானா? Yes. So any algorithm and any all those mathematical properties எல்லாம் கலந்து இருக்கும். You have a mix of that. So this diagram, on a lighter note, you can say that machine learning has got everything related to maths and everything related to computer science. It's a broad and it is interdisciplinary. Yeah, next one please. So this is as I'm listing out those algorithms. இப்போ இதுல வந்து கொஞ்சம் பேர் வந்து you might have used those algorithm. K nearest neighbor is a very very famous instant based algorithm which is nothing but similar to you take a similarity and all those similar things will be grouped. Regression la linear, non-linear. Yeah, of course. The next slide please. This we can skip it off. Decision tree algorithms you might have seen. Bayesian algorithms. Now on the previous diagram I'm showing it as a content here. Clustering algorithms, artificial neural network, deep learning. Of course that deep learning is very important. It is closely related to artificial neural network. It goes to one level up really. Deep learning algorithm, when you see that, it's the next level where that features have been extracted by itself. அது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப important point. When you compare machine learning with deep learning, உங்களுக்கு டேட்டா அதிகமா இருக்கிற இடத்துல deep learning அப்ளை பண்ணுவோம். இமேஜ் ரிலேட்டடா நீங்க ஃபீச்சரை எக்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் பண்றதுக்கு automatically through the layers of your neural network, it will try to do that automatically, which means you get a big advantage while using deep learning in certain projects. I can tell you, it is not that you stop machine learning and go to deep learning. No, deep learning will be applied and used in certain projects much effectively than anything else. It doesn't mean that all those basic machine learning algorithm cannot be used. No, it depends on what problem you take. It depends on what algorithm you are choosing. The very next one. Yeah, dimensionality reduction, PCA, principal component analysis, it's a very older one which has been used effectively. Ensemble algorithm, very important. If you are as a researcher and you want to combine more than one machine learning algorithm and try to say that the result seems effective, you can go for ensemble algorithm. Nothing but combination of more than one classifier, or more than one algorithm you are using. Boosting, ADA boost, grading, these are all very standard ensemble algorithms you can use. Next one. Yes, the steps, as you know, training is very important, evaluating is very important, but இதுல வந்து very ரொம்ப critically சொல்றது வந்து how you are going to assess the performance. Everybody knows that, but probably students at their level, either at UG level or a PG level, wouldn't know that why we are assessing that. They simply put some data, use a tool, get a result, and even they apply some performance metrics, get a result. No, machine learning cannot be branded, and you cannot convince people with the result as like choosing something as a data, as like choosing an algorithm. No, your pre-processing and feature selection and the choosing of algorithm is very very important. Probably performance evaluation too. Next one. Yeah, this classification accuracy, confusion matrix are very very important. Of course AUC and F measures are used. Always there is a confusion, possibly not at the staff level, possibly at the student level, at UG level. When you ask what is meant by a true positive, people may not answer it correctly. People may not give the best result. What is true positive and true negative? Maybe I can give an example. Next one. Yeah, next slide please. Yes, this is a typical confusion matrix where what we can do is that your true positive is nothing but you predict something as a positive and actually it is positive. You can call it as true positive. Whereas what is a true negative? You predict something negative and actually it becomes negative and it's true negative. So meaning is that we need more number of instances grouped in this box and this box, isn't it or not? நான் வந்து நாளைக்கு மழை வரும்னு சொல்றேன், predict பண்றேன், actually நாளைக்கு மழை வந்தாச்சு. So it's a very much a true thing. It's a correct prediction. It comes in true positive. நாளைக்கு மழை வராதுன்னு நான் சொல்றேன், predict பண்றேன் by using an algorithm or something else. நாளைக்கு actually மழை வரல. So it's a true negative case. But the very important thing is the other two. What is that false positive? Very, very important. When I speak about false positive, நாளைக்கு வந்து நான் மழை வரும்னு சொல்றேன், ஆனா வந்து மழை actually வரவே இல்லை. That's a false positive. நான் வருங்கிறேன் ஆனா நாளைக்கு அந்த மழை வரல. It's a false positive. Similarly, what is false negative? நாளைக்கு மழை வராதுன்னு நான் சொல்றேன், மழை வந்து அதிகமா வருது நாளைக்கு. So that's a false negative. So the thing is that your performance of your algorithm is determined by confusion matrix, and the parameter will really give you a picture or a snapshot where how good your algorithm have been developed, how much accuracy it is. So more true positive and true negative, very least number of false positive and false negative, you can say that your system is very much fine. Maybe student perspective or example always I show that. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah, this actually gives you a very clear picture on a lighter note. Really, you can take this as a very lighter note to understand it. When somebody says that somebody is pregnant and the doctor says that it is you are pregnant, that's a true positive. True negative is that somebody says that you are not pregnant. Of course, there is no possibility here, isn't it or not? Being a man, you can call that as a true negative. Doctor predicts something and it is of course yes. Then what is the type 1 and type 2 error? That's what we are speaking about, false positive and false negative. When somebody says that you are pregnant, which is not at all possible, which is obviously a false positive case, you can call it. Then what is false negative? She is pregnant, this person is pregnant, but doctor is predicting that you are not pregnant. So it is predicting no, but it is actually yes is also a false. You call it as type 2 error. Whereas false positive is that they say something predicting wrong, really. They say that it's a something as a condition which is false actually, then you call it as a type 1 error. So this is false positive and false negative, really. Next one. Yeah, you can apply it to any effect, really. This confusion matrix, இப்போ நிறைய இடத்துல வந்து இந்த confusion matrix வச்சு நீங்க evaluate பண்ணும்போது, I have a small project which was done related to coronavirus and its prediction. You can see here, this is what the confusion matrix will be like. True positive is person with coronavirus and tested positive. அவனுக்கு coronavirus இருக்கு, டெஸ்ட் பண்றதுலயும் பாசிட்டிவ்னு வந்துச்சுன்னா that's true positive. அவனுக்கு coronavirus இல்ல, அவன் டெஸ்ட்ல நெகட்டிவ்னு வருது, so it is ட்ரூ நெகட்டிவ். ரெண்டுமே வந்து ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். இன்ஃபேக்ட் இந்த ரெண்டு தான் நமக்கு இருக்கணும். இப்போ நீ ரியலிஸ்டிக்கா நம்ம டாக்டர்ஸ் நம்ம ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ஸ் என்ன கொடுக்கணும், ஐதர் a true positive value or a true negative value is what we need ideally as a better result. பட் என்ன நடக்குது, ரியலி we get false positive. கொரோனாவே இல்ல ஆனா ரிசல்ட் என்ன வருது, பாசிட்டிவ்னு வருது. You call that as false positive. Similarly, பர்சனுக்கு கொரோனா வைரஸ் இருக்கு ஆனா நெகட்டிவ்னு வருது. இப்போ நிறைய இடத்துல it happens really everywhere, not only in our town, everywhere in Tamil Nadu, or for that matter everywhere in India. Those false positive and false negative cases are making real trouble because of various factors. So here to do an evaluation, confusion matrix is a very important point to gauge the performance, really. Next one. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, this is what we use, really. Accuracy, precision, recall, F measure la use பண்ணுவோம். இப்போ நாங்க பார்த்த அந்த true positive and true negative வச்சு we have the typical formulas. Now if the accuracy is very much higher, meaning that your true positive and your true negatives are more, whereas false positive and false negatives are much lesser. Similarly, precision, recall, F measure, these are all terms that has been used very effectively to gauge the performance of the machine learning algorithm. Next one. Yeah, this is also another thing, underfitting, overfitting, you have to see that very effectively. Whenever you are a researcher, you are taking a small problem and you are trying to see that which algorithm works better in terms of machine learning comparison. This underfitting and overfitting is a very, very important term. Underfitting is the data, it is not able to learn from the data very well. நல்லா learn பண்ண முடியாத அந்த மாடல் இருக்கு இல்லையா. Say for example, you have a data set and you are trying to train the data train பண்ணும்போது பாத்தீங்கன்னா what happens is it is not able to understand the data, it giving a very poor results. Maybe ஒரு சின்ன example which is a very very interesting thing. Everyone whoever seated here with respect to machine learning, you can give this example for the students if you are handling this, and if you are a researcher and trying to gauge what is underfitting and overfitting, you can take this standard example, might be known to few people as well. You assume that there are 3 students, and now A as a student, B one student, C is another student, and there is a professor. What happens is that they are taking a class, professor is taking a class for all those 3 people really. So what happens is that A as a person, he won't read well, he simply he just avoid reading, he is a very bad or rather a poor performer. B is a student who is who want to take good marks, but he mugs up everything, fulla mug panni answer pandrathu B. C is a student who really sees the problem solving aspects, learn it by understanding the concept. 3 different people. A வந்து doesn't study well, B வந்து mug பண்றது, C வந்து is a good student with problem solving capabilities. இப்போ வந்து professor try to give some lessons and he is conducting a class test. For example, it is a class test. Class testங்கிறது நீ understand பண்ணிக்கங்க. They will be giving only questions related to what he discussed really. So அவர் எடுத்த கிளாஸ்ல இருந்து questions கேக்குறாங்க. This person வந்து ரொம்ப border lineல 50 40 வாங்குறாங்க. This person being a person who mug everything, he actually read everything because question is only from the topic that has been taken by the professor. So இவன் என்ன பண்ணிடுறான், 90 mark வாங்கிடுறான், 90 100ல 90 வாங்கிடுறான். This person an evaluate person who does well ஒரு 85 or 80 marks வாங்குறாங்க. So what will happen is that this is a thing which happens during the class test. இப்போ இதே வந்து யூனிவர்சிட்டி டெஸ்ட் அல்லது வந்து செமஸ்டர் எண்ட்ல எக்ஸாம் வரும்போது question is from somebody else, question is taken away. What will happen possibly is that this person again she will get fail mark, whereas this person what happens is that he will be in a borderline 50 mark 40 mark அல்லது 60 கீழ தான் this person will be there, whereas this person consistently will give 80 to 90. என்ன மீனிங் இது இந்த இடத்துல, class testல what happens is that this person who mugged, he actually vomited everything and got a very good result, whereas when it comes to something as a question which is not known to him directly, but he need to apply his skills called problem solving, cannot be done by this person. So what will happen is that something like an underfitting and overfitting will be something like this. Not able to learn anything, it is an underfitting. This person can be equivalent to underfitting. He doesn't learn anything, he cannot get a better result. Whereas this one is a typical example of overfitting. கிளாஸ் டெஸ்ட்ல எல்லாம் நல்ல மார்க் வாங்குறது, ஆனா எக்ஸாம்ல ரொம்ப போரா இருக்கிறது. என்ன மீனிங், the so called data is not fit, generalization இல்லாம இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிற பட்சத்துல that person can be called as overfitting. Okay, maybe the next slide please. Next slide please. Yeah, you can see here class test la, yeah, class test la 50, math test la again what happens, university la 47, whereas class test la even 98 வாங்கிட்டான் memorize பண்ணி, ஆனா இந்த டெஸ்ட்ல 69 தான் இருக்கு. So you cannot trust this person, that is what very important. So overfitting model என்ன பண்ணும் அப்படின்னா, அதனோட டேட்டாவை நல்லா வாங்கிட்டு it gives better result during the training phase. You cannot use the such algorithms really, that is a overfitting scenario. This is an underfitting. So what is the best fit really, you have to choose an algorithm something like this. ட்ரைனிங்லயும் நல்லா பிஹேவ் பண்ணணும். புது டேட்டா வரும்போது, இங்க புது டேட்டாங்கிறது புது கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர், இவங்க பார்க்காத கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர் வரும்போது it should perform well. That is the best fit really. That's an example. Can you go to the next slide? 5 to 10 minutes at least I can really catch up. Medical domain, as I told you, very important. Next slide please. எஸ், இப்போ நீங்க மெடிக்கல் டொமைன்ல வந்துட்டு இந்த டிசீஸ் ப்ரெடிக்ஷன் கீழே நிறைய இடத்துல யூ கேன் சி மெஷின் லேர்னிங் கேன் பி யூஸ்ட் எஃபெக்டிவ்லி. ட்ரையல் ரிசர்ச், ரேடியாலஜி, ஸ்மார்ட் ஹெல்த் ரெக்கார்டு, எபிடெமிக் அவுட் பிரேக், லாட் ஆஃப் திங்ஸ் ஆர் அவைலபிள். கேன் யூ கோ டு தி நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லைடு? Yes, medical diagnosis la ipo you can use any of the diseases. Disease prediction la already lot of research has been already done. Either heart agatum, lung agatum, kidney agatum, they have taken everything. All those research has been already happening. You can think about little more than that. UCA repository is a very important repository that can be used for gathering the data set for machine learning. Next slide please. Yeah, data set, you can use it. Any medical data set, valid data set can be used really. Can you come to the next slide? Yeah, medical prognosis kum diagnosis kum undana difference ungalku theriyum. The prognosis is you are trying to able to predict this might happen in the future for a particular patient. So adukku thagunda mari you can assess your treatment procedures really. Next slide. Yeah, medical prognosis is very, very important, and machine learning can be used to assess that medical prognosis, like treatment. What sort of a treatment can be given depending on the environmental factor, disease, comorbidity, which is nothing but having more than one problem in the physical body. Those things need to be taken up, and machine learning works perfectly fine. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is a typical weight with cholesterol. You can gather some information using machine learning, whether that person is possibly have the chance of getting some disease, possibly a heart disease. You can predict it. Next one, please. Yes, yeah, prognosis is used now. You can adjust the treatment level. Doctors can prevent some unwanted surgeries. They can prioritize the specific patients based on prognosis. Very important. Next one. Breast cancer diagnosis நிறைய research நடந்திருக்கு. If you are good enough, அதுலயே new sort of research dimensions and directions இருக்கு, you can go in. Otherwise, breast cancer prediction using machine learning வந்து already it has been done by many of the researchers. உங்களுக்கு if you are interested now, you need to go in and dig deeper into some dimension related to that. Very important. Next one. Yeah, next one. You can skip this breast cancer diagnosis. Yes, this is very important. If you are a researcher, this personalized medicine is a very important thing, where each patient will have their own way of symptoms and genetic information. Because if I have a genes and probably a cancer that affects me with respect to a particular gene might not be the same case for another person with the same sort of a cancer. You get my point here? Both are with say lung cancer. I might be from a different gene and that person is from a different gene. Possibly based on the gene and its working, you can provide the so-called medications or a treatment. That is also possible by applying machine learning. Can you go to the next one? Yes, drug discovery, very important. Ipo latest COVID drug discovery la all machine learning algorithms have been used. Very important. If you are in a research focus and you want to do something, precision medicine is a very advanced topic. Neenga adala concentrate panna mudiyum definitely, because precision medicine enna solludana, it will take care of genetic information, environmental information and lifestyle. Ellarthayum it will take it and it will give you the right way of a treatment. Maybe say for example leukemia nu or cancer undu ungalku theriyum, it's a type of a cancer that relates with the skin and the blood. Ungalku vandu adula vandu pathina same person having the same cancer need different treatment. Yen appadina because of the genetic makeup. இன்னும் சொல்ல போனா ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்கா there is a so called drug called imatinib nu or drug undu. That drug will be given to patients of leukemia of one particular genetic makeup only. அவங்களுக்கு மட்டும் தான் அதை கொடுப்பாங்க. அதே இன்னொரு patient with leukemia-க்கு அதை கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க, because genetically this drug is very much effective for the person with that particular genetic makeup. So இத வந்து நம்ம one by one we cannot do it. Machine need to do that. It will do that automatically. So those machine learning applications are used very effectively in precision medicine. Next one, please. Yeah, clinical trial research, of course. Yeah, enough. You can stop in this slide really. Yeah, predicting the mental health. நான் ஏன் அந்த வந்து உங்களுக்கு அந்த lung and so called breast cancer எல்லாம் already done and dusted. ஒரு particular area in machine learning in medicine which is not that much effectively analyzed by researchers எதுனா considerably this area. Mental health issues kulara you can really apply machine learning algorithm and you can get some results. Something like Alzheimer disease, anxiety, ADHD, குழந்தைங்களுக்கு வர ADHD, autism, dementia is a very important disease where your machine learning algorithms will predict whether a person can get a possibility of a dementia, because dementia எல்லாம் எதை வச்சு அப்படின்னா probably genetical, உங்களோட so called signals to the brain, EEG signals வச்சு பண்ண முடியும். So இங்க இந்த மாதிரி mental health issuesக்கு machine learning வந்து ரொம்ப கம்மியா தான் யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்காங்க compared to the normal medical applications. So you can try these things as a research issue. பாத்தீங்கன்னா mental health issues you can really concentrate. Very, very important. ஏன் சொல்றேன் அப்படின்னா I'm doing a bit of a research under this scheme. Mental health la schizophrenia la பாத்தீங்கன்னா it's a disease which is something equivalent to a person who has got very much away from the normal person. Totally impaired persons irukanga illaya, though they will get schizophrenia and psychosis disorders. For that you can take a data set related to the EEG signals. Ipo idukku nama use pandra signals ella pathina MRI, EEG, PET, all these signals are the one that relates. Ipo autism patti nama padikanuna, how the brain signals really done, how to differentiate between a person who has the same symptom of autism, and you need to conclude this particular person is autism affected and this one is not. Ena symptoms ella ore mari irukum. So for that you can apply machine learning. All those EEG data will be taken, analyzed, and accordingly it will try to give. When a new person comes in and the new data given, it will predict that whether the person can have an autism or not. Anxiety, Alzheimer disease is also another thing. All these data idukku use பண்ற data set பாத்தீங்கன்னா either வந்து pure imaging dataவும் இருக்கலாம். சில கேசஸ்ல இமேஜிங் டேட்டாவையும் நம்ம எடுப்போம். சில கேஸ்ல நார்மல் டேட்டா டேக்கன் ஃப்ரம் நியூமெரிக்கல் டேட்டாஸ் ரிலேட்டட் டு ஆல் தேர் மெடிக்கல் ஃபினாமினாவை எடுத்து we will be assessing and applying the algorithms. Next one please. Yeah, research issuesல இன்னொரு ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்டான பாயிண்ட். Can I take 10 minutes, madam, if you don't mind? Can I get the permission?
No problem, sir. I will inform the next session.
எவ்வளவு நேரம் எடுக்க முடியும்? At least 10 to 15 minutes is more than sufficient.
Okay, sir. You continue till 11:30, sir.
That's fine.
Up to 11:30 you can continue. No problem, sir.
Thanks a lot. So இன்னொரு ரிசர்ச் இஷ்யூ பாத்தீங்கன்னா சென்டிமெண்ட் அனாலிசிஸ் சொல்லுவாங்க. ரொம்ப it was a very very important thing. இப்போ நீங்க சென்டிமெண்ட் அனாலிசிஸ் பத்தி தெரிஞ்சிருந்தனா it's always good when you are studying machine learning. Otherwise you have 100% possibility of exploring one topic related to sentiment analysis in near future if you really like machine learning and research related to machine learning, because this is where your machine learning dimension has been changed from a structured data to a unstructured data. Very important juncture இன்னும் சொல்ல போனா why machine learning has boomed in this way is because the transformation from a normal structured data analysis to a unstructured data analysis. ரொம்ப சிம்பிளா சொல்லணும்னா, நான் ஒரு மொபைல் வாங்குறேன், I want to know how that mobile is. நான் கூகுளில் ஐ எம் ட்ரைங் டு சர்ச் இந்த மாதிரி சாம்சங், ஓப்போ, இந்த மாதிரி அந்த மாடலை போட்டு நான் சர்ச் பண்ணும்போது தேர் ஆர் வெப்சைட்ஸ் தட் வில் கம் இன் வேர் யூ வில் சர்ச் அபவுட் த ஃபங்க்ஷனாலிட்டிஸ். அதுக்கு கீழே வந்து ஃபீட்பேக் மாதிரி இருக்கும். isn't it or not? You get some feedbacks for ரிவ்யூஸ்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. டைரக்டா சொல்லணும்னா those reviews are very important to understand how well that so-called mobile phone has been flared in the market. Very important. Because a business perspective, if I am a owner of the company, I want to know this new product have reached exceedingly well or not. Exceedingly well na, I can increase the so-called production of that particular model. If it is poor na, I need to see what went wrong. So on the so-called and the business prospect வந்து நம்ம வந்து வாங்குறதுக்கு we need the so-called sentiment analysis. எப்படி பண்ணுவோம் அப்படின்னா, அந்த டெக்ஸ்ட் இருக்கு இல்லையா, we have the text related data. இப்போ it is not a structure, that is why I'm saying it is unstructured data. அந்த unstructured dataங்கிறது ஒரு சென்டென்ஸா இருக்கும், பேராகிராஃபா இருக்கும். You have something in a format of a normal writing. You have to pick those items and try to apply algorithms. You segregate those sentences into words and you process it according to the natural language processing, NLP ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. You try to get the meaning of those sentences and pick whether that sentence is giving a positive response or a negative response. Probably a next slide please. Yeah, NLP யூஸ் பண்றதுக்கு வந்து மெஷின் டிரான்ஸ்லேஷன், ரெகக்னிஷன், ஆல் தோஸ் இமேஜ்ல இருந்து ஒரு கேரக்டர் ரெகக்னிஷன், all things your NLP is used. Why we are speaking about NLP is that this natural language processingல ஒரு பார்ட் தான் sentiment analysis. You can say that sentiment analysis, it actually comes under NLP, where machine learning has been used effectively under that. Next slide please. Yeah, NLP pati, I think it's a very general topic. Can you go to the next one? Voice assistant நிறைய யூஸ் பண்ணிருப்போம். It's all comes under your applications of artificial intelligence, specifically your NLP based applications. Yeah, can you go to the next one please? Next slide. Really, I can go to sentiment. Yeah, this is very important. Your sentiment analysis ங்கிறது என்னன்னா, நம்ம எமோஷன்ஸ் எப்படி இருக்கு for a particular product or a particular so-called result whichever we get அந்த பர்டிகுலர் ப்ராடக்டாகவும் இருக்கலாம், அது ஒரு 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 விஷயமாகவும் இருக்கலாம், அல்லது வந்து இப்போ இந்த so-called சிஸ்டம் எப்படி பிஹேவ் பண்ணுதுங்கிறதுக்கெல்லாம் ரிவ்யூஸ் மாதிரி இருக்கிறதெல்லாம் எடுத்து டெக்ஸ்ட் டேட்டாவை அனலைஸ் பண்றோம். we try to analyze the text data and conclude அது பாசிட்டிவா நெகட்டிவா நியூட்ரலா. so that is what a very important thing. Next one please. Yes, sentiment analysis you can even classify as a normal approach and a machine learning approach. When it is a normal approach, you call that as a rule based இருக்கும். எப்படி பண்ணுவோம் அப்படின்னா it's very simple. அது previously you might have used that in a normal NLP structures. ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ் இருக்கு, this is a good phone, I like it very much அப்படிங்கிற இந்த சென்டென்ஸை நான் எடுத்தேன்னா, as you know that this is a good phone and I like it very much ங்கிற இந்த சென்டென்ஸ்ல எது பாசிட்டிவ், கடைசியா end result பாசிட்டிவ் இம்பாக்டா நெகட்டிவ் எமோஷனா, you know it is positive. அது எப்படி கன்க்ளூட் பண்ணணும்னா, நார்மல் அப்ரோச்ல, வாட் நார்மல் அப்ரோச் ஆர் ரூல் பேஸ்ட் அப்ரோச்னா, இட் வில் ஹாவ் அ டிக்ஷனரி, ஒரு டிக்ஷனரி ஆஃப் ஐட்டம்ஸ் வேர் குட் பெஸ்ட்டுக்கெல்லாம் ஒரு சினனிம்ஸா இருக்கிற ஒரு ரெபாசிட்டரி இருக்கும், பேடு ஒர்ஸுக்கெல்லாம் ஒரு ரெபாசிட்டரி இருக்கும்னா அதுக்குண்டான சினனிம் இருக்கும், அதுக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி சென்டிமெண்ட் ஸ்கோரை அது அப்ளை பண்ணும். ஸோ when I say that this is a good phone and it is super, good super எல்லாம் very good thing that relates to a positive emotion. So உன்னோட ஸ்கோர் கடைசியா பாத்தீங்கன்னா you get a better score, positive score than a negative one. So you conclude that as a positive comment about that particular product. இப்போ அதுல என்ன ப்ராப்ளம் வரும்னா, there are lot of real time issues that creeps in sentiment analysisல. நம்ம சென்டென்ஸை எப்படி ஃப்ரேம் பண்றோங்கிறது it's very important. மேபி சில கேஸ்ல you have a neutral scenario, the போனோட பேட்டரி நல்லா இருக்கு ஆனா கிளாரிட்டி நல்லா இல்ல, பிக்சர் நல்லா இருக்கு or otherwise அதனோட wiring or charging நல்லா இல்ல, something like that. You have combination of both. So அந்த இடத்துல எல்லாம் you need to apply some advanced algorithm. Machine learning can be applied very effectively in such sentiment analysis, and you can gather those informations really. Next one please. Yes, that's what I'm telling. Rule based is the normal, automatic is all those machine learning techniques you can apply. Next one please. Yes, sentiment analysis oda working pathina as like your normal machine learning platform, ungaloda so called text extract the features and the features will be given to a model, train it according to the tag whichever you have. Now a new data comes in, new text comes in na, through that model you can conclude that this is a positive comment or a negative comment or even a neutral. Next one please. Yeah, ipo idu enga apply pandrom, where your research can be projected. Ninga you are a researcher and you want to project it as a problem definition for a particular thing na, you can use it either in those applications. Social media monitoring very broad. Ipo வந்து Trump versus the person, the previous election la வந்து Trump ஜெயிச்சதுக்கு முக்கியமான காரணம் ட்விட்டர்ல Twitter analysis பிரகாரம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா he has more number of impact in terms of likes and in terms of the so-called information that has been put out here. So Twitter as a social media, நீங்க அது மூலமா மார்க்கெட் பண்றாங்க, they try to market and they try to brand themselves. That can be done really, that can impact the person and the positive impact கொண்டு வர்றதுக்கு they are using more number of ways. Brand monitoring, customer service, market research is another important thing. இப்போ நான் ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் வச்சிருக்கேன், as I told you, I want to know whether this product is good or bad. Other through some medium I'm posting, I get some comments, text comments வரத நான் அனலைஸ் பண்ணி I can conclude that whether the product is good enough to sustain the market or it is bad enough to go away. That is a very big thing for a bigger companies to come to a conclusion very importantly. Next one please. Fraud detection is another area where you can easily apply. இப்போ நீங்க வந்து security related இருக்கீங்க, network security is your own cup of tea, you like that very much அப்படின்னா probably you can apply machine learning concept to those fraud detection scenarios. If fraud detection you can think about something like a credit card fraud, which is a very prominent thing in many countries. US la vandu, though it is very much of a bigger in terms of economy and all those facilities in terms of technology, still US is topping in credit card fraud systems, just because the more the advanced the technology is, the more advanced the people who are trying to break that technology to a bad effect. So here in the fraud detection la credit card fraud kulla neriya research poirukku already. You can use both supervised as well as unsupervised algorithm. எப்படி அப்படின்னா you can ஒரு very big amount of data இருக்கு, அதுல வந்து you want to analyze whether that credit card transactions data வச்சு you can say that whether this new customer is better or not. அல்லது வந்து ஒரு group of dataல unsupervised ஒரு clusteringல இவங்கெல்லாம் better people or a better person for the next level, you can approach them for the card. இப்போ இந்த கார்டை கொடுக்கறது யாரெல்லாம் வந்து better person for a credit cardனா அவன் வந்து அந்த சிபில் ஸ்கோர் எல்லாம் செக் பண்றதை வந்து ஆட்டோமேட் பண்ணி they can easily conclude, even if it is a lakh number of data available, within fraction of seconds they can segregate people who are the one who will get who will have the possibility and idea of picking a new credit card, and these are all the people who should not be approached for such thing because of their backlogs or because of some negative impact, can be done within a fraction of a second by using machine learning algorithms. Right, next. ML in cyber security, that is what I am speaking. Next one please. Next slide. Yeah, cyber attack, you know everything. Cyber attacks la already there are a lot of algorithms available. Normal networking algorithms, cyber security algorithms are applicable. You can add up using machine learning. Machine learning becomes a even more important in this context to you know, avoid cyber attacks or to enhance your cyber security. Next one please. Yes, that's what I'm telling. You can really put an end to the cyber threat, and your security infrastructure can be detected. And the pattern, say for example, if it is a very big company, even a very big company situated across the world, they use all those deep learning and machine learning algorithm to detect some patterns which are seems to be you know which is suspicious. And the suspicious pattern it is not only detecting how fast you detect, if within fraction of second la suspicion predict panna, you can stop it. Otherwise even if your system predict that, possibly after 1 hour by the time he might have taken up every information and the system might have compromised. So there the fastness can be applied by using machine learning in cyber security. This is another area you can really explore more problems in machine learning under cyber security. Next one please. Recommender system, இது முன்னாடி I have shown you that recommender system ங்கிறது as you know உங்களோட நெட்ஃபிளிக்ஸ்லயோ அல்லது மூவி சைட்லயோ you recommend this. இப்போ நான் வந்து வெறும் த்ரில்லர் மூவிஸா பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கேன், I just watch only thriller movies. அடுத்த ரெக்கமெண்டேஷன் என்ன வரும்னா அதுல மீதி இருக்கிற த்ரில்லர் மூவிஸ் எல்லாம் it will show all those related things. It's because of some machine learning algorithm. அது வந்து collaborative filtering algorithm னு சொல்லலாம் அல்லது content based னு சொல்லலாம். இப்போ வந்து நான் வந்து ஒரு particular domain or particular type of movies அதிகம் பார்க்கறேன், somebody else is also seeing such movies. So என்ன ஆகுது, நானும் அவனும் in the same sync. So இப்போ நான் அதுல புதுசா ஒரு படம் பார்த்தேன்னா அந்த பர்சனுக்கு அந்த படத்தை ரெக்கமெண்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க, because he has the possibility of using that film or seeing that particular film. அதுதான் வந்து collaborative filtering. Content based ப்ராடக்ட், அந்த ப்ராடக்ட்டை இப்போ நான் ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட்டை வந்து பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்றேன், அதுக்கு சிமிலரா இருக்கிற ப்ராடக்ட்டை திருப்பியும் அது வந்து என்கிட்ட கொண்டு வந்து காமிக்கும், இதை வாங்கிக்கிறியா அப்படிங்கும். Again it will show similar products. That's a content based recommender. All underlying back endல வந்து machine learning தான். It's a very important research wise recommender systemல நிறைய வந்து opportunities are there. Can you go to the next slide please? Yeah, this diagram tells the clear picture. If there are 2%, left side la pathina there are two similar users because they read and the two books வந்து சிமிலரா இருக்கிற புக் எல்லாம் படிச்சிட்டு இருக்காங்கன்னா they are somewhere they are having the similar opinions and similar interest factor. அப்ப அவங்க ரெண்டு பேருக்கு என்ன பண்றாங்க, அதுல ஒரு பர்சன் வந்து ஒரு புக்க புதுசா ஒரு புக்க படிக்கிறாங்கன்னா the other person will be recommended with this book because they are similar. Definitely this book will be of his choice. So that recommendation is done. Content based filtering is you read something and the content and the particular book சம்பந்தமா இருக்கிற வேற புக் எல்லாத்தையும் திருப்பி உங்ககிட்டயே கொண்டு வந்து ரெக்கமெண்ட் பண்ணும். The algorithm will do that things. So இந்த ரெண்டு different typesல நீங்க research you can really expand it using algorithms and testing and all that things. Next one please. Yes, so machine learning la niriya research ideas undu. Deep learning, reinforcement learning, transfer learning, adversarial learning, dual learning, distributed, meta learning, quantum machine learning. You have got quite a lot of these are all very advanced thing. Being a researcher, if you have really completed something in machine learning, post docker நீங்க வந்து ஏதாவது research பண்ணனும்னா probably you try to choose a domain which is very much interested. இப்போ medical னு எடுத்துட்டா as I told you a lot of research is happening in what we call it as mental health issues க்கு medical machine learning, deep learning apply பண்றது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப important and you have more scope in that is one thing. That reinforcement learning, நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி reinforcement learning is a very important area where researchers are reluctant ன்னு சொல்றதை விட there are little research happening. You can expand that in that domain. நிறைய distributed sort of a machine learning, federated ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, federated machine learning concepts எல்லாம் வந்து it's evolving now to the next phases. So அந்த மாதிரி options to you. You can check it. You are really innovative and you want to go with something which is much more beyond the normal machine learning and platforms. You can go for something like a distributed reinforcement learning concepts where you have more problems which are yet to be explored. Very important in terms of research, really. Similarly, what I want to tell is that to conclude here, the deep learning you have something like advancement even in deep learning. If deep learning na ellarum solradhu vandu convolutional neural network, which is a very important aspect of deep learning. And the convolution neural network, it's a typical example where your features are automated by using the layers of neural network. All your the so-called image recognition, image conversions, and all computer vision solluvaanga. That's an area adha na yen project pannalena because deep learning already quite a lot of people might have shown you those research parameters. So in the computer vision la you have a lot of aspects. Adula deep learning is a very important thing. You can explore more problems there. Adula romba important ah sollanumna, as I told you, convolution neural network da ipo varaikum best nu solliட்டு இருக்காங்க. No, even convolutional neural network has some pitfalls, has some limitations. Really, என்ன limitation பாத்தீங்கன்னா, you might have a convolutional neural network where the spatial relationship are not explored that effectively. If you want to image classification la or point of time la it will try to take up only the features, particular feature available or not ingrada, it will try to gather those information and high level features la adha vandu replicate பண்ணும். இப்போ ஒரு ஃபேஸ் இருக்கு, அந்த ஃபேஸ்ல வந்து கேட்டா டாகான்னு நான் வந்து ரெகனைஸ் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா ஒரு மெஷின் லேர்னிங், ஒரு நார்மல் டீப் லேர்னிங்ல என்ன ஆகும்னா அந்த ஃபீச்சர்ஸ் லோ லெவல் ஃபீச்சர்ஸ்ல இருந்து ஹை லெவல் ஃபீச்சர்ஸ் அந்த லேயருக்குள்ள இன்டர்பிரட் பண்ணி இட் வில் ட்ரை டு ஃபெச் அண்ட் கெட் த ரிசல்ட். வெரேஸ் ஒரு பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் டைம்ல அந்த ஸ்பேஷியல் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் எல்லாம் ப்ராப்பரா ஹோல்டு பண்ண முடியாம தேர் ஆர் பாயிண்ட்ஸ் தேர், பிட்ஃபால்ஸ். ஸோ தேர் கம்ஸ் யுவர் சம்திங் கால்டு கேப்சியூல் நியூரல் நெட்வொர்க். நான் இது நிறைய பேர் வந்து தே ஹேவன்ட் டேக்கன் அப் தட். கேப்சியூல் நியூரல் நெட்வொர்க்னு ஒன்று இருக்கு. Under deep learning capsule neural network can be used very effectively so that all your spatial relationship is kept intact. Adu endha application domain la varuna all computer vision application la capsule neural network effective use panna mudiyum. Similarly, time series forecasting, game playing, robotics. And another important thing is that you can even use your machine learning research under IoT. IoT and machine learning, it's a typically a very strong combo or lethal combination because you have more number of sensor data. All those sensor data need to be accumulated and you are going to use it. Ipo on the sensor, complete sensor data which you can apply a machine learning so that all interesting patterns and interesting predictions can be made, which will be of very much helpful. There are a lot of platforms where your machine learning applications of IoT is used very effectively, and it is one of the research area you can concentrate if you are really interested. Probably I can tell one small example. With that I can conclude. I know it is 2 minutes left really for me. What happens is you just think about something like a patient and looking after a patient by using IoT devices. You have an IoT system, ambient assistant living சொல்லுவாங்க. இன்னும் சொல்ல போனா டெக்னிக்கலா the term is ambient assisted living. AAL ங்கிறது it's an important concept and area under IoT, which means you are trying to give the patients the care without the interference of doctors or the person in the home. You are giving an automatic facility where they will check all those vital parameters. If there is any change, the machine or the so-called system itself will try to give the inputs, sensors, obviously an IoT concept. There, if you can apply a machine learning concept where your machine learning algorithm will take up all those sensor data and it will automatically give some sort of a result, is also applicable and possible. Ambient assistant living la IoT kila you can even apply a machine learning. I'm giving only one example. Probably you can take that is also a research direction really. Next slide please. Yeah, with that I want to stop here really. It's already time 11:30. Thank you for the opportunity really. Probably at the scratch it was a little bit of clumsy. The network seems to be not fitting and syncing really. Those things is inevitable. Sorry for those interruptions, and I hope the session is at least a 1 point or a 2 point if you can take away as a researcher from here on. I think that will be a better thing for each one of us, and I hope I have concluded it at least on time now. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thanks for all those people from various colleges who have been here patiently listening here. And I would like to conclude my speech here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Arun Kumar sir. I really, I can say undoubtedly you are triggered our participant towards the research in machine learning. So once again, I thank you for kindly accepting our invitation. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
As a participant, you can join at 11:45 for the next session. Russia ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, Nitya. Am I audible for you?
Yeah, yes ma'am, yes ma'am.
Okay,
I make you as a host ma'am, so you can share your presentation.
okay, Nitya.
Welcome participant. Now the session will be handled by Dr. S. Russia. She is a professor in Institute of Engineering and Technology. She's having 18 years of teaching experience. He's published 6 international journals. Also, he's presented 13 papers in national and international conference. He conducted many workshops for students and faculty members. He's attended many online courses, and he got certificate from that also. I welcome you ma'am. Russia ma'am. Russia ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, Nitya. Yes.
Now I hand over the session to you ma'am, you can continue.
Okay. Thank you, Nitya. Let me check my screen is visible or not. Nitya? 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 Nitya?
Ma'am?
Whether my screen is visible or not, Nitya?
Yes ma'am, it is visible ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Nitya. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the management of VCET, Principal, Dean Academic, Dean Student Affairs, and Dr. V.K. Manavala Sundaram sir, Professor and Head of the Department of Information Technology, and the Coordinator, Mrs. T. Nitya, and the organizing team of this STTP for giving this opportunity. I am very happy to share my knowledge on research issues in big data analytics in this workshop. I hope that it will be helpful for your research work. Nitya,
Ma'am?
shall we start? It is
Yeah
okay?
ma'am, you can continue ma'am.
Okay. So my topic is research issues in big data analytics. So before I enter into the topic, what is the importance of big data analytics? From the big data is nothing but a huge amount of data which cannot process by our traditional processing tools. So this is the proper definitions for the big data. So big data is a collection of data. It may be any amount of data, but it cannot process by our traditional processing tools. Then why we are going to analyze the data means for making the decisions from the data. So from data to decisions, we are doing the analytical concept. So then advantages of the big data analytics, first one is the cost reductions. Of course, all the organizations are having its own budget. So we have to keep it in your mind for reduce the cost. So the first major part is cost reductions. Then it may be the faster. Even though we can do the large amount of data, by using large amount of data, we can do the processing in our traditional system, but it will take more time. In order to reduce that time consuming, we shifted into the big data concept. So faster, and for getting the better decision making, we are doing the big data analytics. Then third one is for delivering the new products and service for their own customers. So these are the three major part of this big data analytics. Then only we are going to do any research in this big data analytics. First one is the cost reductions. Another one is the time consuming. Then better decision making. Then new products and service. So in these three angles, we are doing some research work in this topic. So this is the overview of my topic. So first one is introductions about big data analytics. What are the challenges in big data analytics? Then what are the open research issues available nowadays? Then what are the tools supported for doing our research? Then finally conclusions. Coming to the definition of the big data, it refers to huge volume of data that cannot be stored and processed using the traditional approach within the given time frame. So for that only we are going the big data analytics. Within that time we can't do by using the traditional tools. So big data analytics means it analyzes the collected data and find the patterns from it for decision making. So our objective of this big data analytics is for decision making. So this is the diagrammatic representation of the big data analytics. So here the big data, it's a collection of the data. It may be in different types. By doing the analytics, we can get some useful decisions for improving our profit or improving our organizations. Before you enter into the research topic, you have to clearly identify which part you are going to do the research. Then only you can continue the research in the correct manner. Otherwise, the time is waste of the time. It takes more time. So before you enter into the research work, clearly identify which part you are going to do the research. So in the big data technology, there are two types: operational big data and analytical big data. Whether we are going to do the research work in operational big data or analytical big data, it is up to you. So these are the few examples for operational big data. One is the ticket booking, that is online ticket booking. It may be a railway or it may be a flight booking or bus ticket booking, any type of booking data. If you are doing some project, in this case means you go with this operational big data. Otherwise, social media. So clearly understand which type of data for your input of your project. Then online shopping is the another operational big data. Another one is organization. Organization data is purely for any particular organization. Then analytical big data means here only we are getting some decision making. These are the few examples of analytical big data. One is the stock market, then weather forecasting, then medical field, then space missions. Here we are going to incorporate the predictive analysis. So whereas the previous one we can get the descriptive analysis, here only we are getting the predictive analysis. So two types of big data. One is the operational big data, another one is the analytical big data. So these are the some important points regarding the big data analytics. So what is the importance of big data analytics? What it has? What are the tools supported for big data analytics? Then what are the domains? Then what are the use cases and recent trends? These are the few topics regarding the big data analytics. So nowadays there is a sudden change in generating the data. So these are the few social medias. These are the sources of big data. So by using this sources of data, sources medium, the big data are generated huge amount. So in 2001, 0.79, and 2011, the data size is 1.20 zettabytes. So 2015, 7.90 into 2020, 35 zettabytes. So how much the data are generated nowadays? Because all are using the smartphone. Even nowadays, the school student can open their YouTube channel. So each and every person maintaining his own data in this era. So this is the another representations of the size of the data. So first of all, we start with the byte. In earlier days, we nominated by in the case of byte, then kilobyte, then megabyte. So the bracket 369 is nothing but a number of zeros. So mostly it is a multiples of 3. So kilobyte, then megabyte. So megabyte, imagine it is 8 bags of rice, whereas the byte means 1 grain of rice. Kilobyte means 1 cup of rice. You can imagine the size of the data. Then gigabyte, 3 semi trucks of the rice. Then terabytes, 2 container ships of rice. Then petabytes, zettabytes, then zettabytes, yottabytes, and protobytes. These are the size of the data. So in the desktop, we are up to desktop, we are having the megabyte. Then internet, terabyte. Then big data, exabyte. Now we are reaching the zettabytes. So this diagram gives the present scenario of the big data. It is too big to handle. Then coming to the analytical part, there are the major two types, and one more type is prescriptive analysis. The first traditional analytic is descriptive analysis. So descriptive analysis is give only the descriptions of the analytical data. So it will not give any future values. So it cannot predict any values, only for diagnose the analysis. But what is the use of the descriptive analysis? We can know the history of the past. By using this descriptive analysis, we can get any decision in future, but it will not say anything regarding the future. But being a human being, we can get some history of the data from the descriptive analysis. Whereas the predictive analysis means we can say which one is the best, which one is not best for our business. So it is a predictive analysis. For that, we are using the data science. Then data sets means data sets regarding the data sets in traditional analytics, limited data sets only, then cleansed data, all the data are cleansed, then it is used only the simple models. So it is very simple for doing the traditional analytics. Whereas coming to this big data analytics, here the data are large scale data sets, more types of data, then raw data. We only going to cleaning the data. Then complex and more data models, that is complex data models. All are very difficult to handle the data in the case of big data analytics. Then it support the cautions, what happened and why. So it gives the correlation, what is the new insight, then more accurate in answers. So one more analysis is prescriptive analysis. That means it is mostly used in the business purpose. Prescriptive in the sense how a discount we can give for our customers. From that we can improve our scale, sales of the sales limit. So pre-analysis here also. While you are doing the search, whether you are going to descriptive analytics or prescriptive analytics or predictive analysis. So before starting the research, clearly understood in what area you are going to pick up from this wide topics. Then what is big data in the sense? It starts with the 3 V's, then 4 V's, 5 V's, now so many V's, that is 8. One is the volume, already you know. So volume is nothing but size of data. Just before we have seen the volume of the data from byte to zettabytes, etc. Then velocity indicates the speed at which data is generated. Then variety, so variety, that's a different type of data. What type of the data we are having while doing the big data analytics. So different types means it may be a structured data or semi-structured or unstructured, but we have to do all the analytics on this group of data. Then veracity is nothing but data accuracy, how far the data is inconsistent or consistent. Accountability, that is comes under the veracity. Then value means why we are doing this big data analytics means, so the data is transferred into useful manner, that is useful value, that is the value. So this is the output. Decision makings here comes here only, value, how the data is converted into value. This is the relations between the 4 V's and the 5th V. So volume is the size of the data, velocity, the speed at which the data is generated. Then variety, different types of data. It may be structured or semi-structured or unstructured. Then veracity is nothing but accuracy, that is accountability and authentication of the data. The value means how the 4 V's are transferred into the value, that is useful for our business. Then this side there are 5 V's. This is some additional characteristics of the big data. Then validity, so the data quality governs. Then master data management or mass use. So validity of the data, how far it is useful, that and all comes under the validity of the data. Then variability means it is a dynamic, not a static one. then evolving behavior in the data sets. Day by day, it may be evolved. It is the variability of the data, big data. Then venue, so whether it is a centralized one or a distributed one, it is a comes under the venue category. Distributed heterogeneous data from the multiple platforms. Then vocabulary data models, there are a lot of models available in big data. So which model we are going to handle for our research? So data models, semantics that describe the data structures. Which data structure we are going to store the data, that is semi-structured or unstructured. Which data structure we are going to use in our research. So you have to keep it in your mind. Then vagueness, confusions over the meaning of big data and tools used. Yes, of course, there are a lot of tools available in big data analytics, but the main thing is which tool is used for our research is very, very important. Otherwise, it will take more time. Finally, only we conclude, no, this tool is not right for our project or our research. So before enter into the tool selections, you have to clear idea about the tool choosing. Confusions over the meaning of the big data and tools used. So these are the some characteristics of the big data. And coming to the tools, whenever we heard the term big data analytics tools, immediately the Hadoop will come in our mind. It is an open source software framework for storing the data and running application on clusters of commodity hardware. So the Hadoop is it is a software framework for storing the data. In the big data analytics, we have to do two things. One is the storing the data. After storing the data, we are doing some analytics. So finally, we will get the decision making. This is the basic equations. So first storing the data, then analysis, then getting the final decision making or final decisions. So two things is very important for storing and analyzing. So it provides massive storage for any kind of data, enormous processing power. The Hadoop gives the massive storage for any kind of data. The ability to handle virtually limitless concurrent tasks or jobs. So this is the Hadoop framework. Hadoop framework. It is some more tools toolkit on the Hadoop structure. So the main part is HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System, then YAM MapReduce. This is for distributed processing framework. In your research, you could not use all the tools. Which tool is suitable for your research work? That will be enough. So don't concentrate on the tools in your app. Then HBase is nothing but the database. Then Q means SQL query. Suppose if you want to want any data retrieved from the database, means you have to use the Q. Then R connectors. This is for statistical dealing. You go with R connectors. Then Mahout. This is for nothing but the machine learning. In your research, you are using machine learning means you go with the Mahout. So Mahout is nothing but a person who controls the elephant. So that means the machine learning, by using the machine learning, it will control all the process. Then PIC is nothing but the scripting language. While you are using the scripting language in your research, you can select the PIC. Then Woozy is nothing but that workflow. It's nothing but the data flow diagram. The icon indicates the OAD diagrams. The Woozy is nothing but the workflow. How your research or the project will from one place to another ones. That is data flows. Nothing but the data flow tool. Then Zookeeper is the another tool. This is for coordination purpose. How all the tools inside in the project, how the storage and processing will take care. The Zookeeper will take care of all the coordinations work. Then Scoop is nothing but the data exchange. We don't worry about to change the data from one format to another format. It is the Scoop will helpful for us data exchange. Then Flume is for log collector. If you want to any log files means, so that will take care of by the Flume. So this is the entire frame set of Hadoop. These are the variety of tools available nowadays. Then for final one is the Ambari is the top level tool for provisioning, managing and monitoring Hadoop clusters. So for managing and monitoring the Hadoop clusters, we go with the Ambari. Mostly in the company side, they will use this Ambari. Then yarn, so yarn is nothing but a distributed processing framework. So it is purely for schedule the job. For scheduling, we go with yarn. So in this yarn, there are two things. One is the task manager, another one is the task executor. So task managers, the function of the task manager is only the assigning the task, whereas the task executor is executing the task. It's nothing but master and slave concept. This is the yarn architecture. Here the resource manager. So the node manager, then container, app master. So these are the node managers. So the resource manager, here the clients are connected by the resource managers. This is the yarn architecture. So yarn architecture is nothing but our master and slave concept. Then another tool is Chakwa. So this is for establishment of another Hadoop. So Apache Chakwa also includes a flexible and powerful toolkit for displaying, monitoring and analyzing the result to make the best use of the collected data. So this is the another establishment of the Hadoop. Then Mahood already we discussed, this is the data mining library, example clustering or classifications, etc. Then this yarn-based framework. It is the another yarn-based framework. So then Zookeeper, it handles all the configuration, that is a coordination, work, operational service. Then AVRO, it is for the serialization of the data. Whether it is a binary encoding or JSON encoding, we go with AVRO. Then PIC is a scripting language. It is a high-level programming language for data analysis. Then Hue, this is for storage purpose. That is honeybee, the honey Hue, we are storing the honey. So the Hue is only for storing purpose. So data warehouse of Hadoop, we can say in another base, it's a data warehouse of Hadoop. Then SQL based, then SQL based, it is similar to SQL based, that QQL is used in this concept. Then another tool is Uzi. So this is a data flow diagram. It is a tool which handles the data flow. Then Scoop, it is a conversions, one type to another type. It converts from Hadoop to SQL or SQL to Hadoop. Suppose if you are only knowing the SQL, you don't know the Hadoop concept means you don't worry. The Scoop will take care of the data exchange from SQL to Hadoop and Hadoop to SQL. Then Kafka is another tool. This is for the aggregator purpose, data aggregations. Then Apache Solar, it is for searching tool in Hadoop. If you are doing any search means the Apache Solar. Then Cassandra is another tool. It is a database, that is key value database. So Cassandra is the database. Then HBase is also a database, but it is a table-based database. So in your research, which type of database you are choosing, whether it is a Cassandra or HBase. If a key value database means you go with the Cassandra, or if it is a table-based data means HBase database. This is the summarization of the tools. So these are the 5 steps we are include in our research. First one, the data collection, the how to store the data, then analysis, then searching, then supporting tool. So this is the comprehensive study of the tool selections. So while collecting the for data collection, you go with the Flu or Kafka. So this is the best tool for data collection. For storing or saving the data, so Hue or Hive, HBase, Ozone, then Cluster. So this is a few example for storing the data. If you want to analyze your data, you go with the Pig. But this is the scripting language. Then search. If you are doing some search in your project, go with the Spark or Chakwa. Then some other supporting tools you can add it in your research. Oozy, that is for data flow diagram, then Solar, then Zookeeper for coordination of all our research work. So this is the major tool selections which will helpful for your research work. For collecting the data, Flow and Kafka. For storage or saving your data, Hive or HBase or Ozone or Cluster. Then analyze, pick, you go with pick and search, Spark and Chakwa, and some other supporting tools, Oozy, Solar and Zookeeper. This is the another big data analytics tools. So already we discussed, that is HBase, then Spark for real-time processing. So if you are doing research in video streaming algorithm, nowadays there is not much algorithm in video streaming. So in the type of real-time processing, you go with the Spark. Then Talent is the another tool, software integration platform. Then Splunk, this is for the log analysis platform. Then data warehousing, Hive. Then messaging system for Kafka, then data storage and processing the platform, of course our Hadoop, then data analysis platform, the PIC. There are a lot of tools available, but the main thing is which one is suitable for our work. That is the main thing. These are the domains of big data analytics. So healthcare, telecom or insurance, government, finance sector, automobile, education, retail. So in your research, you have to concentrate the domain concept also. In which domains your research work will suitable. So whether it is a healthcare or telecom or insurance or government or finance or automobile or education or retail, you have to clear about the domains. So the next one is use cases. So there are a few big data use cases are listed here. So first one is the credit card fraud detection, then sentiment analysis. So sentiment analysis nowadays very popular because any management or any organizations need to understand its customer regarding their product, whether it is a good, bad or neutral. So the sentiment analysis very, very important. Then data processing, how they are process the data. Then orbits.com, it's nothing but the traveling database, that is a traveling database, booking the tickets and all. Then shares holding is nothing but the public domains regarding any country's data. Then MBA, that is a market basket analysis, already we discussed in data mining. Then customer churn analysis. This is a new thing one. What is meant by customer churn analysis means are we are losing our customer, because so in many organization the customer is our king. So without customer we could not run our business. So customer is a very, very important. So here the customer churn analysis is nothing but or we are losing our customer. Suppose if one organization or one departmental store, any one customer come and ask any product, means immediately they will give the product. Otherwise the customer go with some other company or some other shop. So the management or organization will never accept the customer losing. So based on his customer history, they analyze the nature of the customer. From this they will respond to the customers. So it's a very important new topic in this use cases. Then coming to the trends, these are the essential skill set we needed for this big data analysis. So here are the few skills which can be acquired depending upon the role in the field of big data analytics. First of all, we should know the basic programming skill. We should know some basic programming. Then statistical and quantitative analysis. Then data warehousing, maybe SQL or no SQL. That is how to store the data. Then how to represent the data, that is data visualization. So after decision making, we have to visualize the data for easy understanding. So this is the final output. Data visualization is very, very important. So we should know some knowledge about the data visualization. Then specific business knowledge. specific business knowledge regarding the big data analytics. Then the computational frameworks, nothing but the tools. What are the tools supported for our research work? This is the major skill set while doing the research work. Basic programming skill, statistical and quantitative analysis, data warehousing, data visualization, specific business knowledge, computational frameworks. This is the present situations. This diagram gives some present situations. So there are the ocean of the data. It may be a text files or web files or social networks or any data or RDBMS services, office files. So there are the ocean of files. So to process the massive data set, we can include this type, this many technologies. It may be a data warehouse or machine learning, data or web mining or text mining, then visualization, information retrieval. So for processing the massive data, we can use these technologies: data warehousing or machine learning, data or web mining, visualization, information retrieval, then security, etc. So this is the overview of the big data analytics objectives. So this is the sources of data. We are data extractions. This is the sources of data. From the sources of data, we extract the data. The data may be the web data or city data or financial data or logistics data or agriculture data, or it may be the sensor data. So from these sources of data, the data is extracted. After the extraction, we have to integrate the data in a same format. So data integrations. After that, computing, big data computing and big data management. Then applying the data mining techniques, that is analytic technique. It may be a classification, clustering, anything. Then finally, we have to visualize the data. It may be used in the online shopping, smart cities or health, finance and risk management, and genetic farming. Apart from that, we have to follow the policy and privacy and security while doing the big data analytics concept. So this is the overview. First one is data extractions, integration, computing and data management, data mining and visualization. Among that, policy and privacy and security. Then coming to the challenges, second topic is challenges. There are the four major categories in the challenges. One is the storage challenges. Another one is the analytical challenges. What are the mining, that is computations in the challenges. Then visualization. This slide will give some clear idea about your research, whether you are going to concentrate in the storage part or analytical part or mining part or visualization part. So clearly you should select which part you are going to do the research. So in the storage part, you are only focusing the storage concept only. So you don't need to worry about the analytical or mining. Only how to optimize the big data in the case of storing. That is the main objective while storage. Then coming to the analytical part, how far you are analytic the big data for getting the better decision. So these are the tools for analytical, and these are the tools for analytics. You can use these any tools for analytical purpose. Then data mining means, so what are how to mine that is how to extract the hidden data from the data set. That will focus in the mining part. Then visualization means only just a representation of the final output. So Tableau is the very popular visualization tool. So you have to clear about whether you are going to concentrate the storage part or analytical part or mining part and visualization part. So this is the typical workflow of big data project. So first, problem formulation. First you have to formulate your problem, define the problem. After that, data collections. After that, after collecting the data, you have to store and transferring into the integrated format. That is same format that is comes under the infrastructure. While after defining the problem, you have to collect the data. After collecting the data, you have to storage. So and transferring. Then only you are going to start with the analysis part. After analyzing, the report or visualizations will give the final output. Then after the visualizations or output, we have to evaluate whether our output is acceptable or not. So if it is acceptable, we just end the project. If not acceptable, again, we have to redefine our problem. Based on the new problem definition, we have to collect the data and storage. The same steps will be followed. So this is the typical workflow of the big data project. Then the challenges of big data analytics are classified into 4 major categories. One is the data storage and analysis, then data mining, that is knowledge discovery and computational complexity, scalability and visualization of the data, and one more thing is information security, because security is very, very important. While concentrating the data storage and analysis, in recent years, the size of data has grown exponentially by various means such as mobile devices, aerial sensory technologies, or remote sensor, or radio frequency identification readers, etc. So the main thing is the size of data has grown exponentially. So these data are stored on spending much cost. For storing all the data, it will take more cost. So however, the available storage technology cannot process that require the performance for processing the data. So we have to additionally data reduction, data selection, feature selection is the essential task, especially when dealing with a large data set. That is, data mining task has significantly increased. So the data selection, data reduction, feature selections is all nothing but the data mining task. So while we are dealing with the big data, it will take more time. That is the thing in this point. It is because existing algorithm may not always respond in the adequate time when dealing with this high dimensional data. So there are a lot of existing algorithms available, but it's not dealing with this high dimensional data. So we have to concentrate for generating the new algorithm. So automation of the process and developing the new machine language algorithm to ensure the consistency is a major challenge in recent years. Yes, of course. The automation, that is remote process automation, is the major role in this automation process for developing the new thing by using the machine learning algorithm. Being an academician, we can concentrate the algorithm part. It is very easy. So recent technologies such as Hadoop and MapReduce make it possible to collect large amount of semi-structured and unstructured data in a reasonable amount of time. The key engineering challenge is how to effectively analyze these data for obtaining the better knowledge. This is the problem. How effectively analyze the data. Already the Hadoop also having capability for storing the structured or semi-structured or unstructured data, but the key engineering challenge is how to effectively analyze the data. Then standard process to this end is to transfer the semi-structured or unstructured data into the structured data and then apply the data mining algorithms to extract the data. That is, the transformation is a major role. So another major challenge in this case, that is the data storage, to pay more attention for designing the storage systems and to elevate efficient data analysis tool that provide guarantees on the output when the data comes from the different sources. So this is the another challenging issues. You can pick any issues from this concept. Furthermore, the design of machine learning algorithms to analyze the data is essential for improving the efficiency and scalability. So machine learning algorithm we can use for efficiency and effectively and scalability. The knowledge discovery and representation is the prime issues in big data. It includes the number of subfields, that is the data representations. It may be any format. It's subfields such as the authentication, archiving, management, preservation, information retrieval, and representation. It is some difficult part in this big data. Then another challenge is knowledge discovery and the computational complexity. There are several tools for knowledge discovery and representation such as a fuzzy set, a script set, or rough set. These are the mathematical model for the data. Then, however, the current big data analytic tools have poor performance in handling the computational complexity, uncertainty, and inconsistency. So in this case also we can go with some optimizations algorithms. Whenever we are writing any algorithm, we go with the computational complexity. So from this way, we can apply in the big data analytics algorithm also. It leads to great challenge to develop the techniques and technologies that can deal the computational complexity, uncertainty, and inconsistent in an effective manner. Then another challenge is scalability and visualization of the data. The most important challenge for big data analysis technique is its scalability and security. As the data size is scaling much faster than CPU speeds, there is a natural dramatic shift in the processor technology. So there is a, due to the data size, there is some change in the processor technology. So being embedded with increasing number of cores. So the shift in the processes lead to the development of the parallel computing. You can add in your research parallel computing regarding the architecture. The real-time applications like navigation, social networks, finance, internet search, timelines, etc. requires parallel computing. And next, the objective of the visualization data is to present them more adequately using some techniques of the graph theory. That is, the visualization part, we concentrate the graph. Graphical visualization provides the link between the data with the proper interpretations. So the graphical representation give the proper interpretation for the any customers or end users or managers. However, online marketplace like Flipkart, Amazon, eBay have millions of users and billions of goods to sold each month. So in this case, the graphical visualization is very, very helpful for their business. To this end, some company uses a tool, Tableau, for big data visualization. Already you might know the Tableau for the data visualization in the previous session. It has capability to transform large and complex data into intuitive pictures. This helps employees of a company to visualize the search relevance, monitor the latest customer feedback, and their sentiment analysis. So this is the main concept behind in the Tableau. That is search relevance. What are all the customers searching often, like our YouTube searching or Netflix. So monitor the latest customer feedback. What are the feedbacks? So because feedback is very, very important nowadays. And then sentimental analysis, whether the customers are satisfied by this product or not. However, the current big data visualization tools mostly have poor performance in the functionality, scalability, and responsive time. In your research, you can just improve your visualization techniques by using any algorithms or techniques. The data visualization output is just improved by doing your research. To overcome this issue, we need to correlate more mathematical models to computer science. For this, we have to use some mathematical model. Then final one is the information security. In big data analytics, massive amount of data are correlated, analyzed, and mined for the meaningful patterns. All organizations have different policies to safeguard their sensitive information. Not any business company will not publish their customers' details. For example, our medical records. So whenever we are asking any medical patient database, means they will hide the personal details regarding the patient. They will give only the common factors to the people for doing any research. So any organization having its own policies to safeguard their customers. Preserving sensitive information is a major issues in big data analytics. So in this part, there is some issues preserving the sensitive information. So there is a huge security risk associated with big data. So in the concept of the security, we have to do some research. So therefore, information security is becoming a big data analytics problem. Security of big data can be enhanced by using the techniques of authentication, authorization, and encryptions. So various security measures that big data applications face are scale of network, variety of different devices, real-time security monitoring, and lack of intrusion detections. Therefore, attention has to be given to develop the multi-level security policy model and prevent the system. So we can focus the multi-level security policies. In this part, you can select the research issues or prevention systems. already is there in some amount of security in the existing system, but in our research we have to develop some multi-level security policy and prevent the systems. Then coming to the open research issues, so main focus of this section is to discuss the open research issues in the big data analytics. The previous ones, the challenges, in here only the focus on issues. The research issues pertaining to big data analytics was classified into four major broad categories, namely IoT. Nowadays, IoT is a very famous one. So IoT, then cloud computing, bio-inspired computing is nowadays it's a very important one. Then quantum computing. So in the four major areas, we can adapt your research work, whether it is a IoT or cloud computing or bio-inspired computing or quantum computing. However, it is not limited to these issues. You can go with any topic. Regarding the IoT, Internet has restructured global interrelations, the art of the business, cultural relations, and an unbelievable number of personal characteristics. So the internet is a major role. Even any normal people can use internet nowadays. So the internet is the main thing. Currently, machines are getting in on and act at the control innumerable autonomous gadgets via the internet and create a IoT. By using this internet, we can control all the gadgets, electronic gadgets, by using the IoT concept. For this only, it is a very famous one nowadays. Thus, the appliances are becoming the user of the internet, just like humans with web browsers. The IoT is attracting the attention of the researchers for its most promising opportunities and challenges. The new regulations of the future will be eventually everything will be connected to intelligently and controlled. So everything will be the connected while we are doing the IoT means everything will be connected and intelligently controlled. This is the main part, main objective of this IoT. Then coming to the knowledge acquisitions from the IoT data is the biggest challenge one, because data collection is a very major role that the big data professionals are facing. Therefore, it is essential to develop the infrastructure to analyze the IoT data. So already we have seen the typical flow diagram of the big data analytics. There is one infrastructures that is for storing and data warehousing, integrating that part. An IoT device generates the continuous streams of data, and then researchers can develop the tools to extract the meaningful information from these data using the machine learning techniques. So this is a very important point. In the previous case, we go some organization and collecting the data. If maybe a banking database or insurance database or a university database, so there is a static data. It is very quite easy. But in the IoT, it generates the continuous stream of data. We can't predict how the data are storing in this. So we have to handle the continuous data, how we are going to store. And the researchers can develop the tools. Similarly, we can develop the tools to extract the meaningful data from the continuous stream of the data. Which one is useful, which is not useful, by using the machine learning techniques. So it is a very important point, how we are going to handle the continuous stream of data from the IoT devices. So understanding these streams of the data generated from IoT devices and analyzing them to get the meaningful information is a challenging issue, yes. And it leads to big data analytics. So that only we are doing big data analytics in the concept of rectifying these challenges. Machine learning algorithm and computational intelligence techniques is the only solution to handle the big data from the IoT perspective. So you can go with machine learning and computational intelligence techniques. That is AI or deep learning, all are mixed one. That is a subset. So for IoT research, you can use machine learning algorithms or computational intelligence techniques. But according to me, the IoT, it will take more cost because the setup is very costly. Then the cloud computing. The research issues related to cloud computing. The cloud environment should provide the tools that allow the data scientists and business analytics to interactively and collaboratively explore the knowledge acquisition data for further processing and extracting the fruitful result. So the cloud environment will support some level of knowledge attestations. But in addition to this, the cloud computing should also enable scaling of the tools from virtual technology in the new technologies like Spark, R, and other types of big data processing techniques. So we can merge with cloud computing. Depending on the special need, user can go to the marketplace and buy the infrastructure service from the cloud service providers such as the Google, Amazon, IBM, etc. Another advantages of the cloud computing is cloud storage, which provides the possible way for storing the big data. This is for the storing concept. But the major issues, but what is the major issues here means the major issues are the privacy concerns relating to the hosting of the data and the public servers and those and the storage of the data from the human studies. How we are going to store the public servers and how to apply the security. These are the major issues. All these issues will take big data and cloud computing to high level of development. So we can merge with the cloud computing with big data. Then another issues is bio-inspired computing. This is a new thing. So bio-inspired computing is a technique inspired by nature to address the complex real-world problems. How the bio-inspired computing will address the complex real-world problems. So already in mobile computing, so we studied about PSO algorithms, that is optimizations algorithms, and colony algorithms, that is biological neurons. Similarly, we can use here also. A significant feature of such computing is that integrates the biologically derived materials to perform the computational functions and receive the intelligent performance. So how we are perform the computational functions and receive the intelligent performance. It is very important. Analyzing these data and categorizing into text, image, and video, etc., will require a lot of intelligent analytics from the data science, from the big data professional. Analyzing in the sense, so the big data is a collection of various data types. It may be a text or image or audio files or video files. By intelligent analytics will categorize the data, which is the text data, which is the image data. It will helpful for the data scientist. Then another issues is quantum computing. Quantum computing provides the way to merge the quantum mechanics to process the information. So quantum computing is the another new things in nowadays. So how to merge the quantum mechanics to process the information. So in the quantum computers use the quantum bits or qubits. So in this quantum computing, we can say the quantum bits are qubits. So what is the difference between the qubits and bits means is that the qubit is a quantum system that encodes the 0 and the 1 into two distinguishable quantum states. That is, it represents the two distinguishable quantum states. So many big data problems can be solved much faster by large scale quantum computers compared with the classical computers. So hence it is a challenge for the generation to build in the quantum computer and facilitate quantum computing to solve the big data problems. Then coming to the tools part, so large number of tools are available in the processing the big data. Already we discussed in the introduction part. In these sessions, we discussed some of the current techniques for analyzing the big data with emphasis on the three important emerging tools, namely MapReduce, Apache Spark, and Storm. So most of the available tool concentrate on the batch processing, stream processing, interactive processing. So batch processing is the bulk processing. Stream processing means that is a video stream, that is a streaming of stream computing. Is nothing but the handled by the stream computing. Interactive analysis means by means of the customer interactive database. So most batch processing tools are based on the Apache Hadoop infrastructure, such as Mahout and Dryad. Stream data applications are mostly used for the real-time analytic. So handle the streaming data, it is a very major role. But because we can't predict. Nowadays, if any things happen means we go with the CCTV camera backup. Then after the scene is happened only, we are analyzing the CCTV camera backup. But the streaming data means whenever the stream is generated, whenever the live stream is generated, that time we have to focus the data and what will happen. That is the important concept in this research. That is, there is a less video capturing algorithm is available. Some examples of large-scale streaming platform are Strom and Splunk. The interactive analysis process allows the user to directly interact the real-time system for their own analysis. So these are the tools: batch processing, stream processing, and interactive analysis. Then coming to the conclusion, the amount of data collected from various applications all over the world across the wide variety of fields today is expected to double every year. It has no utility unless these are analyzed to get useful information. So there is no restrictions for generating the data, but what is the use? We have to make it as the useful information. So for that only we are doing the analyzing. This necessitates the development of the techniques which can be used to facilitate big data analytics. For that only we are doing the big data analytics. The transformation of the data into knowledge, these data may involve uncertainty in the many different forms. So that transformation, how the big data is transformed into the knowledge patterns or decision making is important. Many different models like fuzzy set, rough sets, soft set, neural networks, and then generalizations and hybrid models obtained by combining the two or more of these models have been found to fruitful in the representing the data. For representing the data, we combined with any neural networks or fuzzy set or upset, any mathematical representations. These models are also very much fruitful for our analysis. In addition, the fast processing while achieving the high performance and high throughput and storing it efficiently for future use in the another issues. The programming for big data analytics is an important challenging issue. For that only we are doing some research. So additionally, machine learning concept and tools are gaining popularity among the researchers to facilitate meaningful result from these concepts. Research in the area of the machine learning for big data has focused on the data processing, algorithm implementation. As I said earlier, so being academicians, we can concentrate in this data processing, algorithm implementation, and optimization instead of some IoT projects. So it is very cost reducible, algorithm implementation and optimizations. From this, it is understood that every big data platform has its individual focus. It is based on the human beings. So it may differs from researchers. So every platform has own individual focus. If you are focusing the storage means you go with the storage. If you are focused with the processing means you go with the processing. If you are visualization means you go with visualizations. Some of them are designed for the batch processing, whereas some are good for real-time analytics. As I said earlier, there is no algorithm for video analyzing. So someone is very good in batch processing, someone very good in real-time analytics. So each big data platform also has specific functionalities. Of course, based on the specific functionality only, they will continue the research. Different techniques used for the analysis include statistical analysis, machine learning, data mining, intelligent analysis, cloud computing, quantum computing, and data stream processing, and one more biostream analysis. So bio-inspired computing. So these are the different techniques you can include in your research. The future researchers will pay more attention to these techniques to solve the problems of the big data effectively and efficiently. This is a very, very important concept. After our research is over, whether we should achieve the effective manner and efficient manner is very, very important. Okay, that's all. So thank you. The technology is our future. It may be the social media, mobile, or AI, ML, deep learning, then blockchain, then AR and VR. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful session. You have enclosed all the important aspects in the big data. So definitely it will help our participant to do a research in big data analytics. Once again, I thank you for accepting our invitation, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nitya.
Participants, you are some of them are asked to share the PPT. Definitely, the next week we will share all the materials related to this STTP series will be shared to a mail ID. So we can wind up the session 2 at this point. We can meet at 1:30 for the next session. Thank you all.